This video will show you how to use the AQMesh data user interface for accessing and downloading data from your AQMesh pods. When you go to the AQMesh data website, you will be asked to log in with the username and password that we provided you with. During your first login, you will need to read and accept the terms and conditions for using AQMesh data. You will then be able to see your pods and choose which ones you'd like to view data for from the menu on the left. After you have selected your pods, click on the Sensors button to choose which parameters you want to view data for. Some may be automatically highlighted. Simply click on them to deselect them and click on the ones you want to look at instead. Now choose the date range you want to look at from the drop-down menu. If choosing a custom date range, you can fill in the start and end date in the calendar fields, and you can also select the time you wish to start and end at. You have the ability to choose whether to look at pre-scaled values, scaled values, or both, and then selecting the averaging period. Select which units you'd like the readings in, and then load the data. The plot will appear with each parameter colour-coded. Hovering over the pod serial number will highlight the data series for that parameter on that pod, and clicking on each serial number will hide the series. You can click on it again for it to return. Moving the pointer along the plots will show the exact measurement at each point. You can also change the averaging period, and the chart will refresh to show the new times. You can use the zoom functionality at the bottom of the chart to view a specific period of time more closely. If you prefer to view your data as a table, you can click on the tabular button on the left of the date range. This table will display the data as per the pod's reading frequency. For example, you have selected 1 hour averaging, but the pod takes 15-minute readings, so you will see 15-minute data in the table. Select the serial number of the pods from the tabs on the left. There will be a separate tab for each pod. You can use the columns drop-down menu to see other options that you can include in your table, such as including the pre-scaled values if you have only been viewing scaled values before. To export this as a TSV file, simply click on the green Export button on the right and the file will download. You can then open the file and use as required. Each pod will be on a separate worksheet within the file. Another feature on AQMesh data is being able to save the selection you have been looking at by giving it a name in the title field and selecting Save. You can also see in this list any previous selections that you have saved and go back to them. Then you can go back to the one you have just saved. If you wish to apply user slopes and offsets, this is done from the scaling page. Please note that applying user slopes and offsets should be done in accordance with the AQMesh standard operating procedure. Select whether you are looking at the gas sensors or the particle sensors from the tabs on the left. The fields in dark grey cannot be edited, but the white fields can be adjusted accordingly to apply your user offsets and slopes. Simply click Save to save your new user slope and offset settings. The last area to look at on AQMesh data is the profile page, which simply allows you to update your password information if you need to. When you have finished using the website, simply log out. If you have any questions about the new AQMesh data user interface, then please contact support@aqmesh.com and we will be happy to help.